But I did meet him on December 6th at his arraignment hearing. There were 2 cars of us that went over from Missoula to be in the courtroom during his arraignment. And the first time I met Leonard, he was sitting in the courtroom by himself, dressed in a suit, looking confident, but definitely needing company. And he was in the old Choteau County Courthouse in Fort Benton, waiting for his lawyer to navigate the roads from Bozeman to represent him in the first arraignment. And he was very glad to see us. And we felt like we were a presence in the courtroom as they went through the court proceedings, that Leonard, we were there to pay tribute to what he had done and who he was. And we let him know that he had Montana supporters, that he wasn't alone in Montana. So Leonard and Angela came to Missoula right after that and talked about what was going on with the climate change movement in the Northwest. And we had a meeting at the Union Hall, and I spent some time with him during that visit, and he really has caused me to think in very deep terms about where we're at right now as a nation, as a community. And like many of you, I came to Montana because I wanted to get acquainted with the natural world. In many ways, the fundamental conflict that we're seeing throughout the planet right now, all over the planet, is between those people who feel a connection with the natural world, who are John Muir's children, who believe that we need to live in harmony with all of life on this planet. That the conflict is between people who have that orientation and people who believe that there are no consequences for exploiting all the resources that we have left on this planet. So that's one of my thoughts, is that if we can mobilize people who are connected to all of the life on this planet, we can make really serious progress on where we go from here on. Leonard really forces people to take stock. This is the planet that we've inherited. And, when I sit down and I think about it, this whole strobe of memories come through. The time I spent on the Big Hole River, and when my children were climbing up a scree slope, and, mountains and snorkeling and being in nature is what one memory after another comes through. And we humans are very rational beings. We can make very rational decisions, but we also tend to rationalize what goes on. We also tend to take a step back and not really get very involved. And we have amazing accomplishments all the way from the Hubble telescope looking way far into the Big Bang to the microscopic parts of our own inner biology, to those iPhones that we flip open and talk to somebody on the other side of the world. And, we can talk about our justice system, as flawed as it is, but that's an evolutionary marker of us as beings on this planet. And we can talk about, of course, our artists, how important they are. And it seems like of this is in jeopardy when you start talking about what the science of climate change is like. You know, are we going to allow this de-evolution to take place? You know, those are the questions that Leonard's presence brings up for me personally. And I would like to leave you with, you know, as part of my introduction with this question about what would you do if things are not going to turn out all right? What would you do if things are not going to turn out all right? So thank you. This is Leonard Higgins.